hit it again with the movie review.
Right. So we promised you guys a spoiler-full review. However, as college students, we are tired because we had a very full weekend. So what I'm gonna go through my 3 favorite scenes of the whole movie and the one that I didn't like the most. And then Shanice can do the same. And then if there's any comparison in between, then we'll do that, and then that'll be it. So at the end of this video, you can also comment your 3 favorite scenes or your favorite worst scene or your worst favorite scene. I don't know how that would go. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Just the scene that you hated the most. So with that being said, my favorite utmost scene of the whole movie was the one where Lex Luthor kidnaps Lois Lane, and he takes her to the top of the building, throws her off after having this little monologue that I didn't really care for. It was good, but it's not the point that got me. Superman obviously comes to the rescue.
It was so cute. Saves
her and has their whole little romantic moment, and puts her on the ground. They kiss. You can't love me. All this other crap.
I hate Lois Lane.
Yes, that's not the point of this. And then he goes back up and he's just like, I'm about to whoop your ass. But what does he find when he goes to whoop ass? He finds Lex Luthor sitting down, crisscross applesauce, with a little timer on his hand, looking like he's baking. Why are you looking at my head?
You have something in your hair.
So yeah, he comes up ready to kick Lex Luthor's ass, and instead of finding Lex Luthor gone or whatever, he's sitting there, crisscross applesauce with a baking timer. Those little baking timer ones, and he just spins it, and then they just start going at it. And his monologue was so perfect because at first it's just like, if I was in his position, I got an all-powerful alien, I just threw his girlfriend off of a huge building, I would be scared as crap. But no, he's just sitting there looking all psychotic, and it's just like, I have something that you care about, and you're gonna do something for me because that's how much you care about it. He goes on to explain that obviously, because if you're watching this, you've watched the movie.
Hopefully.
Because if not, then you're just you're dumb, because now you've gotten the movie kind of spoiled for yourself. So please, don't. If you've gotten to this point,
don't rely on our opinions also.
Go
watch the movie for yourself.
I got something to say about that at the end of this video.
Okay.
So just stay tuned.
I'll be quiet.
However, so he tells them basically, go kill Batman, and I'll let your mother live. But you have, he said an hour, but then when they showed the other scene, the timer had 37 minutes.
Because he was probably talking to him for
a long time. So you have 37 minutes to go save your mother. So to go kill the bat so you can save your mother. And then Superman's all angry and crap, and he just leaves.
Yo, where is she?
Yeah, continue. Which was sad because, how in the other trilogy, it was always Batman, where is she? But this time it was Superman, so that was fun. That was really funny.
So much.
So this leads into my second favorite scene of the whole movie, which was when Batman goes, after the whole Batman vs Superman fight, and now they're working together, he goes to go save Mama Kent. And those were just the most badass fighting sequences that I've ever seen Batman do in all of the Batman movies that I've watched.
Batman!
And it literally looked like I was playing the Arkham Knight game. Like, that's how clean those combo moves were. And it was just it was beautifully shot. And my friend David said that the reason why the other one wasn't, the Nolan trilogy, was because it was a stealth Batman, but I don't care. Although, yeah, you were being true to comics, quote unquote, because it was stealth Batman. In terms of what it's like to look at the movie, it was so much cooler to watch this Batman just beating people's butt. And my favorite part of that scene was when he just kicked. Remember when the guys went to throw a grenade, and Batman just kicked the other guy, bumped into him with the grenade. Like, I was just like, so technically Batman didn't kill anybody there.
Technically.
It was self-protection.
And then in the other scene when Batman shot the people that were shooting at him, Batman didn't kill them with his bullet. It just so happened that there was an explosion and people died. Batman probably felt really bad when he went home to Alfred.
Probably. And my third favorite scene wasn't necessarily a scene per se. It was, I really like the intro. The scene where they show Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed, especially now that after I watched the movie, all those videos and Screen Rant. I love Screen Rant, so shameless plug, Screen Rant, go to screenrant.com. No, I'm not getting paid to say this. They showed the page-by-page comparison of the movie and the comic in one of the origin stories, and it's literally like, even remember that shot with the pearls where you use the gun and then the pearls went? That shot by like frame by frame and comic book by page by page was literally almost identical.
Oh, cool.
And it was really cool because you watch the movie and you saw it and it was like, oh, they shot that really well, which I mean wasn't a surprise because Snyder has some beautiful camera angles with from the tops and from the bottoms and the lighting and stuff. That wasn't a surprise, but then you watch, then you see that he not only did it really well with the angles, but also got it straight from the comic book. Like he literally tried to emulate the comic book, so that was really nice. Now, my least favorite scene was the way they plugged in the cameos. Not the cameos themselves, but the way they plugged them in. It was nice to see the Flash. The Flash part was pretty good, including the dream sequence. The dream sequence was actually pretty badass. So don't include that in this. I'm talking about when Wonder Woman actually sat down at her computer and clicked through each one. I just felt like that was really dumb, and I would have been okay if they hadn't done it. I would have just been like, oh, well, guess I'll have to wait till the Justice League movie comes out to actually watch the Justice League, instead of literally watching Wonder Woman click one by one to see. Now, the actual video clips that she showed were pretty cool. Cyborg one was pretty cool. The Flash one, I liked the smirk. I can feel like this Ezra Miller guy is going to do a really cocky version of Barry Allen, the Flash, which I think will be very interesting. And Aquaman's was okay. I'm just really excited for the movie because James Wan is directing. He's one of my favorite directors. So with that being said, I will turn it over to my sidekick. To the Robin, to my Batman.
I'm Wonder Woman.
No, you're Robin.
Okay. Okay, so I guess my top three. Number one for me. Oh, I know that.
Start over.
Okay. So I guess for my top three, number one would have to be the dream sequence where Batman is fighting. The only reason why is because Batman is my favorite superhero. No, that does not make me biased in this movie because I can name you off all of the things that I did not like about this movie. But at the same time, that fighting sequence, I'm a grown up now. I'm 20 years old. And so I feel as though the Batman that we used to see when we were younger was he was a superhero. He was that man that refused to kill. He was everybody's favorite mysterious, stealth, martial art fighting man. but now that we're older, I feel as though action isn't the same for us in certain instances without a little bit of, waka waka. The Batman that I saw in this movie, personally, I appreciate. I know that it's not traditional Batman, but I just enjoyed seeing these fighting sequences. It was kind of like Chuck Norris puts on the Batman suit, low-key. Cause I don't know who taught Ben Affleck all these moves, if it was a stunt man or a stunt double. That stunt double can do his stuff, but was it a stunt double?
I mean, I'm sure he used a stunt double for some things, and he was just himself.
Because honestly, this man got buff for this movie, so I can't even say that I would assume automatically that it was a stunt double.
I'm sure he did some of his stuff, but like the real martial arts parts,
I'm pretty sure it's somebody else. But that was one of my favorite scenes, the dream sequence where he took on all of these military men with Superman patches on their right arms. Like, I found that so amazing. This man did not get one bullet shot into him. Then again, he has a bulletproof, costume. But at the same time,
Oh, I missed that in mine. Remember when he
that
literally
was my next one.
behind him?
Can I finish? Anywho, I just finished watching Easter egg video from Nerdist. Also check them out. No, we're not getting paid again. But they did a video speaking about all the little hidden things in the movie that we may or may not have seen. And one of them was my second favorite scene, when Batman got shot directly in the head and his cap or his mask is bulletproof. And according to, what is her name? I can't remember her name, but according to her, and she showed proof. They showed proof in the video.
Wait.
That comes straight from the comics.
I thought about something. Logistically speaking, I come and shoot you, right? And it's bulletproof, and I'm at close range. Wouldn't it ricochet right back to me?
Comic logic.
No, I'm saying they should have done it. Like, that would have been cool. Like,
I mean,
think about it. I shoot you and then I end up dead instead of you?
it's my turn. I'm captain of the ship now.
Okay, Captain America.
And then number three, my number third favorite scene.
Number A.
My third favorite scene of the movie is when the whole Capitol blows up. And the reason why is I feel as though this was the part of the movie that showed Superman's human side and loving side the most. I have never seen Superman look so hurt. He always looks mad when somebody tries to hurt Lois Lane. But in this particular scene, Superman looks so hurt. He looks so sad because one, he knew somebody had set him up. Two, he knew that he may not have even been looking for the bomb because under other circumstances he would have either heard it ticking or he would have x-ray visioned it somewhere within the room. But he wasn't scanning the room for that. He was going in.
And he said that, right? He was just like, I wasn't looking.
He said, I'm scared because I wasn't looking. And so I'm just kind of like, we see such a human side of Superman here where he literally mourns the loss of like 50 people that were in this.
A whole bunch of senators.
Literally inside of this Capitol, and he did not realize that this was going to happen. And of course, they're going to blame him again for what's going on because regardless of if he did it or if he did not, he has the powers, as at least what he is shown, to prevent things from happening. But what they're forgetting is Superman does not read minds. Superman was going in there for a purpose, and his purpose was basically to reassure everybody that he's not a menace to society, but rather just trying to help in whatever way he can. And he can't help everybody at the same time. Superman is not omnipotent. So, I mean, even though they tried to make him seem a little bit more like God than he actually is, Superman is in no comparison. So, I feel like those are my favorite scenes. My number one least favorite scene of this movie, apart from all of the Lois Lane scenes, was I see her face, I get angry, would have to be, well, it was, I'm going to have to say two. It was the space scene where Superman was shot by the nuke after he had carried Doomsday all the way into space. Unfortunately, I was not educated enough upon the different graphic novels that had to deal with Superman and Batman. Because like I've said in repeated videos, initially when we started this, I was not a direct comic book fan. Everything based off of comics, the cartoons, the plushy toys, the movies, all of those things I was a fan of because I was a regular person in society. I didn't, join in.
She's becoming a geek.
I didn't join into that lifestyle until I started dating this one. But as I was saying, I wasn't educated on that scene particularly. But my friend Luan, which you will see in one of our videos coming down the line, he happened to tell me that this came directly out of a graphic novel. The scene to a T was depicted as it was drawn within this novel.
I have a question though.
Huh?
I remember you told me that. Does that excuse the horrible CGI?
That's what made me so upset about this scene. I felt as though they were trying to capture the comic book look through it,
like,
but it
cool,
just went from superhero movie to low budget Godzilla film.
You know what it reminded me of? You showed me the other day the picture where they did the Timmy Turner and Jimmy Neutron crossover.
Yeah.
And you know how Timmy Turner is actual a two-dimensional cartoon, while Jimmy Neutron was more of a three-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how when they crossed over Timmy over there, he looked weird.
He looked really weird.
That was a progression to me. It went from Fairly Odd Parents to like a weird third-dimension Timmy Turner, and then back to regular Superman.
Yeah.
It just didn't look clean.
It didn't look clean to me. It didn't appeal to my eye. But then once I learned that they were trying to emulate or portray exactly what was in the novel, I kind of gave him a little bit of leeway. But now that I think about it, I didn't like the scene. And my second scene that I did not like, there was this explosion when Doomsday landed. Guys, I need y'all to go back when this thing comes out on DVD. I need you guys to go back and watch that specific scene when Doomsday lands after the nuke is shot and Superman is left in space. Look at that explosion that happened when it said boom. That looked like it got straight out of Windows Movie Maker. Like,
oh yeah, I remember that.
When it was like, it was just like, and I can't describe this to you guys, but it did not look like a normal explosion. It looked like they put a black screen and then they just randomly put an explosion there from Windows Movie Maker, from clip art. And it was just like, we watched this movie twice. And so there were things about the movie that we were able to pick up on that others may not have, because
or appreciate more,
like that scene particular that I spoke about. So people weren't able to necessarily draw from that, and then some people are drawing from other people's not being able to draw from that. So it's kind of like, formulate your own opinions, guys. We formulate our own. Yes, there are people that we love and we look up to, like Jeremy Johns and Screen
Love
Rant.
you, man. Even though you didn't reply to my tweet. It's okay.
But there are people like that we look up to. But will I tell you that I agreed with everything that Jeremy Johns said? No, because he mentioned Lex Luthor, but he didn't take into account that this was not Lex Luthor. This was Lex Luthor's son. And so I feel like there are some things about this movie that people created an opinion on based off of either another character that was not in the movie or the trailer. But formulate your own opinion. I can't knock him for his opinion, and no one can knock me for mine, regardless if you agree with it or not, because I'm standing by this movie strong. It was missing some things. Was the plot perfect? No, it was not. But a plot does not make up a movie, just like one bad day does not make up a person.
Agreed. A plot is very important in the movie, yes. But like I had said in the first review that we did, the spoiler-free, like I said, the characters for me drove the movie. Mm-hmm. And the characters made the movie what it was. The plot, I had some issues with the plot at first. I still do. I feel like they tried to do a little bit too much at times. They tried to do a little too many at sometimes. They developed some more than they had to. They underdeveloped some other stuff. However, I will not crap on a movie because the plot could have used some work. The thing that I hate the most is when you ask somebody, oh, did you watch this movie? And they're like, yeah. And then they're just like, I hated it. And you're just like, okay, that's respectable. Why did you hate it? I don't know. It just didn't really do it for me.
How?
That's not an acceptable response. It's like when you ask someone, it's like when you used to ask your mom when you were younger, Mom, can I do this with my cousin? And they're like, no. And you're just like, why not? And she's like, because I said so. You're like, but why did you say so? Because I'm your mother. When she says, why did you say so? Well, because I'm your mother. Those aren't actual reasons. You're just saying that because you don't want to let me go. So in that case, when you tell me you don't know, it just didn't do it for you, it just lets me know you're dumb. You don't know how to formulate your own opinion. So you will feed off of the bad reviews that you have read, ignore the good ones that you have read, and pick the little nitpicky stuff that the bad reviewers that don't even want comic movies to exist have chosen, and then you look ignorant. You look stupid because you don't understand what it means. Could this movie done some things better? Yes. Could it have done some things far worse? It could have been Fantastic Four 2. Well, Fantastic Four, the reboot, whatever. So that's my thing to you guys. If you guys are gonna have your opinion, that's fine.
Formulate your own.
Make it your own opinion, and if you honestly don't know why you hate something, then you don't really hate it.
You just wanna
join the bandwagon. Can you agree on that?
I can understand if you got a bad feeling, but there's always something that gives you a bad feeling.
Like, if I say I love something, I feel like when you say you love something, you can say, I don't know why I loved it, I just did. Mm-hmm. Because in that case, you can say, if you were entertained, that's why you loved it. But if you hated it, you could say you were bored, but then I don't understand.
What was boring about it?
Now, if you are there, I will admit there was parts when I watched the second time where because I knew I was coming and it wasn't a scene that was favorable to my eye, I potentially would have been bored.
I can tell you exactly the scenes I was bored. Every scene where they had a newscaster talking or they were at the Daily Planet, I was like, because.
But at the end of the day, guys, well, if you guys hear a little squishy toy, the dogs are playing. But guys, just formulate your own opinions. Mm-hmm. And then if you don't actually know why you think you have enough.
You and that damn hamburger! Go ahead.
Like I said, formulate your own opinions.
Formulate your own.
And if you don't know why you have an opinion, then you don't really have the opinion.
And don't try to be a movie critic. We're not trying to be movie critics. We're just speaking about what it is. But if you're really trying to, exactly, if you're really trying to go up there, well, this movie's ambiance created so much aperture, and then when you open the reel of the film and you look deep inside.
No,
shut up.
The funniest one I heard was when someone told me, they were just like, I did not like the movie, and I was like, why not? They're like, it was not realistic. They're freaking superheroes! It's an alien from the sky, from a planet that does not exist. However, guys, this has been it. These were each of our three favorite scenes from the movie, and also what we hated the most.
Yes.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the movie, and if you didn't, that's okay. It's okay if you didn't like the movie. It's okay. It's okay if you're a Marvel fan, and because you're a Marvel fan, you feel like you just need to crap all over everything DC does. I'm a Marvel fan, and I won't do that.
Which makes no sense, because I'm a DC girl and I love Marvel just as easy.
But that's just that, because it's just beautiful to see these movies come to life. Well, and there's a bunch of questions. There is. There's a lot of questions. But they will be answered through time. Now, if the rest of the movies are crap, and we get to the end of the line, then I'll be like, you know what? I'm sorry. But until then, I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And that way you'll be able to know when we put up any more of our new videos. So look out for a new video every Monday and every Thursday.
We can't guarantee that because we're college students. And look at our other videos when you miss us. Don't get lonely.